Grade 10. Today we're going to be doing a mechanical drawing. So before we even start, you'll see there are blue lines on the picture. Those lines are not supposed to be solid, so just to draw your attention to that so that you know for future. But yeah, we're not going to be drawing those in while we draw it. Okay, so it says here, given the front view and right view of a model, and we know that because this is third orthographic projection, we're going to have top, front, right, and left, okay? And they say they've given us the front and right, which means we have front and right based on that orientation over there. Then it says draw to a scale of 1 to 1, which means we're drawing it to the same measurements as they have given us, and they want top view, front view, and a sectional right view. So top view, front view, and sectional right view. This obviously being the right view means we're going to cut it in half. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the measurements given to us at the bottom here. So here we have a full measurement of 60 if you add all of this together. So we are going to start off by making a measurement of 60. Okay, then we want to take this measurement of 70 and draw another measurement of 70. But before we do that, from the 60 line to the 20 line, to the 70 line, I want you to measure 20 and then halfway the mark. So let me just draw a bottom line here for you guys. I don't know why. Okay. Don't know why I skipped that. Okay. So you'll have 60, 10, 10, and then you will have 70 for this measurement over here. Once you have all of those lines, what you are going to do is you are going to draw all of them going up. So here and here, here as well. I actually want to use a longer ruler. Okay, so we're going to draw this one going up as well, and then as well as the 70 line going up. Okay, then we're going to take the total height, which we have is 140, and what we're going to do is we are going to measure 140 to get our total height, and then we're going to do what we did earlier, and we're going to measure 20. We're going to make a line at 10, and then we are going to bring those lines across. So that one over there, this one over here, and this one over here, so that we have something that looks like this. And then I am just going to extend all of these lines going up over here quickly. All right, and then you'll see on your drawing you're going to have like a little square, and then there's going to be 4 little blocks. From the center of those blocks you are going to draw a 45-degree line. Okay, so that's what you should have done so far. Okay, then because we are drawing the front view as the same, because we're not cutting it, that's where we're going to start. So we're going to start by finding our center line, which will obviously be 30. So you're going to measure 30, and then you are going to draw a line going straight up through your page. Okay, so it should look like that. All right, once you have done that, we are going to start measuring. So the first point, or first little piece that we want to get in, is this piece over here. So we are going to measure our total height of 20, and then we're going to measure point of 10 as well. So here 10 and 20, we're going to measure those points in. At 20, we are going to draw the line solid, because we know we are not cutting that line, and it's going to be exactly as how we see it, but we're going to bring it lightly across on the other side for when we do our cutting. Okay, then at 10, we obviously want to get this line over here, so we are lightly going to bring our 10 points across like that, and then we obviously want to get these gaps, this gap in over here, so we're going to measure 15, 15 on either side. So 15 and 15, and then we are going to make this whole piece over here solid. So it should look like this. It should look exactly like that. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Now, because we've obviously already got our total height, we want to get our circle in, and the reason why I say that is because it will help us get the rest of our measurements in over here. So you see they don't give us the height for the center line, but because the circle is the top of the model where it ends, we're going to take the radius of 20 to find that circle line, which means we're going to measure 20 on our middle line and make a mark. Okay, and then we're going to take our compass, the measurement of 20, and then we are going to draw a line or a circle, just like in our question. Okay, you should have that over there. Then we're going to get this little piece in over here, which has got a height of 70. So we are going to measure 70, and then we know that we're going to need it for the other side. So we're going to take our measurement and we are going to bring it as a light construction line across on both sides. And then we are going to measure 5, 5 on either side to get our 10 measurement. So that will be 5 and that will be 5. Okay, and then once we bring it down, like this over here, we're going to close it off. We will have our little ribbon web. Okay, then we have 2 measurements on the side as well. We have a measurement of 55 and 65. So together that will give us, let's just do some quick maths over here. Okay, so it'll give us 120. So at 100, so we're going to measure 120 first of all. We're going to measure 120, and then we're also going to make a measurement at 55. So we obviously have this point here. And then you are lightly going to take a construction line and draw it across your paper. And then over here, we are going to take our 120 line and just lightly put it on our circle, as well as bring it across the paper like that. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Once you have got those lines where they touch the circle, the 120 lines, you're going to bring straight down onto the 55 line that we made. And then you're going to do the same on this side over here. Just like that. Okay, so once you have done that, you will then take the edges where it touches the 55 line, and you are going to bring that point up, and you will bring that point down. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Just a note, your circle should be the same color as the rest of your drawing. My lead is a lot darker on the pencil, so mine's not going to be the same, but just so that you know it should be the same. Okay, now the last thing we need to get for our front view is this circle with this little keyway. And so we're going to start off by taking our compass with a radius of 10. So let's just measure 10 over here. Okay. Okay, we're going to measure 10. Just do a light circle first. Okay. And then once you have done that, you're going to measure 4 up, because they give you a square of 4. So you're going to measure 4 up. And then you can bring that line straight across to the other drawing as well, on the other side. Like that. Okay. And then because they say it's a square of 4, which means it's a square, so obviously you know it'll be 4 all around. We are going to measure 2 and 2 on either side, so that we can get our keyway. So once you've got all of those measurements, you can draw it so that it touches the circle. So it'll be here and here, and then obviously use your ruler for this bit here, but that will be like that. Okay, and then now you can take your compass again, and then you can make your circle lines a little bit darker. So we're going to start with that. It's very skew. I don't know how I did that. Okay, just make sure you keep yours steady. I think it's because my lead's running out, so it's hopping back into the thing. Okay, so we're just going to leave it like that. Obviously yours will be darker. Okay, so once you've done that, that will be your front view, and you've pretty much brought all of the lines you're going to need to section it. The only extra lines you're going to need to bring across are the edge of your circles, so here and the one where the keyway starts. So here. Okay, so now that you've got all of your lines, we're going to start with the section side. Okay, so if we have a look at our drawing over here, we see we are cutting it in half and our man is standing over here looking at it from the side over here. Okay, so now we're going to cut our model. All right, so to make this easier for you, I want you to know that when you cut something, generally where there's a hidden detail line, those lines will become solid. Okay, and they will also, it's not going to be the only lines that are going to be solid, but that's just like a basic guideline for you guys to remember. So if we start at the top of our model here, okay, we're going to start at the top of our model. It's got a length of 50, sorry, I don't know why I'm making that line solid. Let me just erase that quickly. That line was not supposed to be solid. Okay, so you're going to measure 50 to start, and the reason why we are measuring 50 is because of this 50 measurement over here. Okay, so once you've measured 50, you can make that line solid, and then you can also bring that line down to your drawing board like that. Okay, then we see that the keyway is a hole because there's hidden detail going all the way through. So the top of the keyway, we are going to just make a line, solid line like that. Okay, then obviously the keyway and the circle have a dash line, which is also going to become solid. This just shows that they're not in line with each other. So do you see there's like a groove and then that hole gets bigger? That's what that's showing. And then we're going to draw a line at the edge of the circle here to show that there's still a gap over there. Okay, so then we're going to cut it still in half, and you're not actually going to see this here anymore, or even this line here anymore. Okay, but you will, and you won't see this here, but you will see the basic outline. So this has got a length of 40. So before we even start, measure 40 on one of your lines, and then draw a line going through it like that. Okay, that looks a bit skew. But anyways, okay, so once you've done that, we are going to first of all take the bottom of this circle, and it is going to touch that 40 line. We know this because that line's going to disappear and it's going to fall in line with this over here. So we are going to draw a line going all the way down to this point over here. Okay, because we obviously have this hole at the bottom here going straight through, and we are going to take from the back as well. So let's just make this whole line here solid. Okay, so it should be like that. That is going to be solid as well, but that one won't be solid. And then this part of your circle here will be solid as well. And I'm going to explain it to you once we've hatched it as well, because I think that will just make it easier for you guys. Okay, so now that we have got that, that's actually not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be that small, sorry. Okay, this one is obviously going to continue to the edge here, and then it goes straight down. Okay, so you should have this over here, and then this line here is going to be solid as well. Okay, so now the only thing we are missing is our web, which we are not going to hatch because it is obviously a web. So you don't hatch ribs or webs, so that's going to stay like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to hatch it. And basically when you hatch something, it just shows all the parts that were cut with a knife. So if you imagine a knife going through all of this here, everything that the knife touches will get hatched. So let's do it in a highlighter so that you guys can see, visualize it better. But the knife is going to touch that point, right? It's not going to touch that point because it's a hole, but it will touch this point here and all the way down. It's obviously not going to hatch the web, but it will hatch everything behind. So I'm going to do a dash line to illustrate that. And then it will obviously cut here as well. So do you see why we're drawing a solid line here at the back is because we're not actually cutting that, but we will still see it. So if I had to hatch all of those parts, okay, let me just first show you how to hatch. So you're going to take your ruler, you can line it up at 5 like that, and then in intervals of 5 you can hatch your drawing. So there I've measured 5. So basically you just line your rulers up, and once you've done that, you make hatch lines. Okay, kind of like that. Do not do freehand hatching. I'm just going to do it so that it goes quicker and so that you guys can obviously see what it looks like. And also your hatching should touch the sides of the drawing, not like mine not touching the sides. Okay, so that will be hatched. This here will be hatched, and all the spaces must be even, and you're always hatching 45 degrees. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like sectioned. Now we still have the top view, so this one is going to be a little bit easier because we've already got all of the points. So for instance, this back line here, we're going to bring onto our 45-degree line, which is over here, and then we're going to bring that line straight back like that. Okay, and then we're obviously going to take the circle line over here. It's the first point we're going to get in. We're going to take that line across, and then we're going to draw in our circle. So we've got that point over there, that point over there. Okay, and then can make this part here solid, and we're going to make the entire back solid because obviously we're still seeing the base at the bottom. Okay, so because we know we've got wings at the side over here, we are actually going to draw those in as well. So first let's get the length of those wings, which will be at 40. So you're going to bring them up and then bring them across, and then you can make solid lines over there, and then you can make lines to show the wings, and we know those will be our wings. Okay, then we're going to draw the rest of the front platform going in. So we're going to draw these lines extended so that it looks like that, and then we know the rib touches right at the edge, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring those lines straight up like that and like that. Okay, so that's what it would look like from the top view. They generally don't ask for hidden detail, but in the scenario that they do ask for hidden detail, you would bring these lines up. Okay, here starting at the bottom, because obviously we know there's hidden detail going straight through, and then you'll do your dash lines, which should be lighter than your overall drawing. Okay. In this question, they don't ask for hidden detail, but I'm just showing you just in case. And then you would obviously have the hidden detail of your circle as well. Okay, and then you would obviously have the hidden detail of your key. Okay, so I hope that makes a little bit of sense and helps you just a little bit. Obviously this does come with practice, but you will get better. So a rule of thumb is just to remember that your hidden detail lines generally become solid when you cut, and ribs and webs don't get hatched, and everything else that the knife touches will get hatched. Okay, so basically if you're really not sure where to start, draw the outline of your entire shape and then make lines by the hidden detail lines, and then like the web, you know, you don't hatch, so then you're going to draw in the web and draw around the web to go, okay, I know that's not going to be hatched, and then everything else would be hatched. Okay, so that's going to be the easiest way for you guys to do it if you're not 100% sure yet. So I hope this helped.